mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Well, he is a veteran of the European theater in World War II. He's a member of Congress, also one of New York's longest-serving and most popular governors. And he joins us for the balance of the broadcast today for the next 25 minutes or so. He's former New York Mayor Ed Koch. He's written 16 books, and he's here with us today to talk about his newest book, The Koch Papers, and a book he wrote years ago, I think in '99, about the nasty little Rudolph Giuliani. So we'll get some of his comments on that as well. Mayor Koch, thanks for coming on with us.
Just a small correction. I was never governor. I was just mayor. I think you said governor.
No, well, if I did, I thought I said...
You said mayor and governor. You did, but it doesn't make any difference. I was just mayor.
You ran for governor.
I ran for governor,
Well,
right.
I thought I was talking about you were in Congress, but I must have said governor instead.
Right.
Okay, that's a good tactic when we start the interview, so you can get me off balance here, Mayor Koch.
No, well, we're not enemies.
I'm teasing you. No. I'm just teasing you because I watch videos of you online during press conferences and stuff, and I guess everybody needs correcting because we do get a lot of stuff wrong.
Right.
Listen, tell us about the new book.
Well, I wrote a book which I'm very proud of. It's my latest and my best, and it's called The Koch Papers. And it is a compilation of the statements that I've made and the commentaries I've issued and the speeches, and really first-rate, beginning with my days in Congress up until recently on the issue of anti-Semitism. We're fortunate in the United States. This is really the golden age. Of course, there are anti-Semites. The pastor of Obama is an anti-Semite. But the fact is that anti-Semitism is vastly decreased, but rising in Europe to the point where it's close to where it was in the 30s, just before World War II.
Well, that's an amazing statement right there, Mayor Koch. I've seen the quotes about the government inventing AIDS or the government shipping in drugs for the black people, but I haven't heard him make any anti-Semitic comments. Can you tell me specifically what Barack Obama's...
Yes, he has, when you attack Israel, you have a right to attack Israel, but if you attack it when you would not attack another country for doing the same thing, then it's anti-Semitism in my judgment. So let me give you an illustration. He and others attack Israel because it engages in self-defense against Palestinian terrorism, and he says that the Israeli treats the Palestinians worse than the Nazis treated the Jews. That's ridiculous. And secondly, what the Israelis are doing is, for example, what the Turks are doing today. They go into Iraq to go after the terrorists that enter Turkey to kill Turks. And I haven't seen anybody criticize the Turks for doing that. That's the right of self-defense.
Well, Mayor Koch, you were in Congress, weren't you, at the same time that Jimmy Carter was in office?
I was.
And I've seen photos with you meeting with him. I mean, would you call him?
I know.
I mean, would you call him friends? I mean, are you saying that Jimmy Carter, or would you say Jimmy Carter's anti-Semitic?
No, I wouldn't say he was anti-Semitic. I would say he was hostile to Israel, but not anti-Semitic. There is a difference. You can be critical of Israel if you criticize it for the same reasons that you criticize other countries. Jimmy Carter criticizes a lot of countries, but I haven't heard, in this case, Reverend Wright or anybody else criticize Turkey for doing what Israel does, which is defend its people from terrorist attacks.
The difference is the Kurds didn't have that area of Turkey, and Israel has been expanding and pushing the Palestinians into smaller and smaller areas and demolishing the houses.
Let me defend that. Firstly, Israel has agreed to the two-state solution called the roadmap, which President Bush and others have urged. The Palestinians under Hamas in the West Bank says no. Every Jew who entered the historic Palestine after 1917 must be expelled, and there will be one Muslim state. I think that's a threat to Jews who are now about 6 million.
Well, Mayor Koch, I'm not denying that there are a lot of Palestinians, a lot of Arabs that say push all the Jews into the ocean and the rest of it.
A majority.
Yeah. My whole statement is that the Arabs were not there killing Jews until 47, 48, when Israel blew up the hotel.
It's not true. It happens that for example, in the mid-30s, the Arabs killed every Jew in Hebron. In the mid-30s, the Jews were living. You know, you may not accept it as such. I don't know. Maybe you do. But Jews have lived in the area which was known originally as Judea and Samaria until the Romans destroyed the Jewish kingdoms. They continued to live there.
I totally agree with you that Sephardic Jews that are 20% of the Jewish family certainly have been there for 3,000 years.
Yeah. So, and you may not accept it as such, but in the Bible it says that God made in the pact with the Jews that the area which was known as Judea and Samaria.
Well, actually, God ordered the Jews to go in and kill everybody, including their animals.
Well, he may have. I don't really know that section, but that's not what you or I are talking about. I'm simply saying that from an historical point of view, this is the land of the Jews. Most Christians accept that.
Mayor Koch, I get criticized because I don't go with what's fashionable and just bash Israel all day. I'm really trying to show both sides here. I'll tell you what I don't like. What I don't like is the fact that in Europe, the different governmental organizations, different lobbying groups have tried to push to even, ban people's political free speech. Even if I don't agree with what someone is saying about Hitler, I think they have a right. I think they have a right to say it.
Let me explain to you.
So do you agree with the First Amendment or not?
Of course, in the United States, we have the First Amendment. They've never had the First Amendment in Europe.
I know, but if you think we should have it here, they should have it there.
No, not at all. Each country has its own laws, and in Europe, because of Adolf Hitler, in Germany, in France, and in England, they have said that you may not, under penalty of criminal law, say that there was never a Holocaust. Now, Holocaust deniers say, "Oh, Hitler didn't kill the Jews."
But now, Mayor Koch, we know what they say, Mayor Koch. And we certainly know Hitler killed a lot of Jews and a lot of other people. I'm not debating
only a lot, 6 million.
Yeah, and about 20 million Germans died, and he killed about 7 million Poles.
No, Hitler didn't kill 20 million Germans.
20 million Germans died.
And we killed 20 million Germans.
So you're not arguing with that 20 million number?
Because they were fighting a war.
Mayor Koch, you don't even know where I'm coming from here. Let me just get my point out, because I really want to hear what you have to say about this.
Of course.
Okay? I mean, look, both my grandfathers were over there. So believe me, I know about it. Okay? They're over there at the same time you were. Okay? So we're on the same team here when it comes to that. My whole point is I was going to give the numbers. Millions of Poles, millions of Russians, millions of Germans, and yes, Hitler did target Jews. That was his whole shtick. We know that. It was horrible. My whole point is is that once you say, and there are groups here trying to restrict free speech in the U.S., same groups.
No.
Once you say
nobody is trying to restrict free speech in the United States, and it's foolish to say that. And let me just.
Well, I'll say this: the ADL and everybody else runs over to Europe and supports what they're doing, and they are over
Europe,
here.
You see, you're not staying on point. I have said to you, Europe does not have the First Amendment, and they never had it, and they don't want it.
So you're saying
they don't want it.
You're saying they don't have any free speech. They don't have any free speech.
No.
A committee's going to decide. A committee's going to decide who has free speech.
Not a committee. The fact is that the governments of the countries that I've told you about have decided that it is in their interest not to allow the resurgence of neo-Nazism.
I understand that, but now they've expanded it, Mayor. Now they've expanded it to don't criticize the EU, don't criticize immigrants flooding in.
That's baloney. But let me just...
You want to bet money? I've got all the headlines. They arrest you in England if you say the word homosexual.